This is our biggest and boldest project so far, and it feels incredibly right on every level, but that doesn't make it easy or fun, at least not all the time. Here's why. So we're on a mission to co-create a land and people regeneration project in Portugal. A full-time community working to revive ecosystems.
Oh no! I killed the baby.
And to reinvent how we organize, work and live together.
Wait, what did you say?
A small-scale version of what the whole planet can be.
We have a very clear vision and direction, but we're also looking at a blank slate with a lot of unknowns. So with these updates, we invite you to walk with us as we discover the road ahead. In the previous update,
You don't need to trust.
we showed our arrival to and the building up of a state-of-the-art base camp on a piece of land that we have the privilege of taking care of for a while. In today's update, where are we and why are we here? Who is we? Because like I said last time,
With the exception of Rui, all you've been seeing is me.
our three biggest challenges so far, and why I believe that even the biggest of projects need only one small step right at the beginning. Portugal's been calling for years, but it wasn't until 2023, when I came to the mountains of central Portugal, that I felt yes.
Yes, it's just the beginning.
And in a way, it's a beginning without a beginning. The project doesn't have a piece of land yet, there's no project team yet, and there is a hell of a lot of we just don't know yet. But since you don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step, we followed the intuitive decision to come, setting down on a piece of land that was magically offered to us by a young Portuguese family with a win-win. They had someone to take care of it, we had a place to start connecting with the area, the people, and our next steps.
That's a jackpot.
So that's a simple answer to the question of why we are here. And since we arrived this time, that feeling has only been confirmed. The friendliness at the local markets, the many people and initiatives I've been meeting here, the connections I've been making.
Okay, we're on.
We're on.
See?
And last but not least, my neighbor Raymond.
Hey!
I would say that even the loneliest of projects, in the end, is about we. The obvious reason in Miracle Project's case is the big supportive network I've already found myself surrounded by here in Portugal. Also in the country I hail from, the Netherlands, with the people I know there.
My tribe from Holland.
Plus all of the newsletter subscribers and online enthusiasts I've never even met before. The less obvious reason is that I am treating this project as a sentient being with its own voice and its own mission. I don't own the project. I'm one of the carriers manifesting its dreams, one of the hands doing its work, and one of its ears. So instead of seeing this project as my property, I'm training myself to listen to it, to surrender to its calls and whispers, and to stay true to what it wants to see realized through me. So weird as it may seem, or even annoying, I'm going to keep talking about we, if only to reaffirm again and again that I am not a lone ranger, but held by something greater. Does this surrendering to something greater mean that I am putting myself aside for the good of that something greater? Not in my opinion. I believe, and this has also been my experience more and more, that when we truly align with life's callings, that our personal missions, our collective missions, and our higher callings all become one. Am I a perfect example? No. But in a way, I hope to be, mostly by training myself to be progressively less stupid, and to be really honest about everything we encounter. The celebrations, the trials, and the tribulations. Which brings me to... And I'm going to start with... my son. He was born more than 6 years ago. His mother and I split up pretty soon after. And for 5 years, we worked very hard to make this co-parenting thing work. And I realized at one point that I couldn't anymore. I was seeing us slide off further and further into exactly the dynamics that I so wished to create an alternative from, and I was finding myself to not be a very good father. And putting something that is deeply calling me aside for 14 years until he's a grown-up just wasn't an option. So I made a decision that was incredibly difficult and at the same time, in a way, really easy. Knowing that this would mean that my son and I would be seeing a lot less of each other, at least in this phase of this project. He's fully part of it, just currently not informed. And although this is difficult on the surface level, not only for me, but obviously also for him and his mother, on a deeper level, I trust that this will only lead to the best possible outcome for all of us. And this does feel vulnerable to talk about. But like I said, we're playing the honesty game, not just the pretty game. So yes, there is already a big supportive network.
Good morning. Let's do some Tetris.
And yes, the project is fully here with me, but when it comes down to the hands and mind work of this thing, I'm currently still doing almost everything on my own. I missed the structural presence of a full-fledged project team and community members, both as a person, but also practically.
Hey, you just saved us 2 hours of shaking!
Setting something up like this is not a walk in the park. And on my own, in the end, I will be pretty hopeless. I just don't have the intelligence or the creativity that we as a collective can have when we come together in a fruitful way. And at the same time, I'm grateful for this missing because it only affirms one of the deepest reasons for this project. The exhaustive and weak act of leading our so-called independent lives, and the joy, mutual support, and the liberation of creative intelligence when we come together in an empowering, healthy, and connected way.
Wait!
So why isn't there already a team? I've learned the hard way that we can only say yes to a long-term commitment when we survive the initial honeymoon phase. The, oh, we're so in love with each other phase and this project's going to be fantastic and yeah, we'll talk about that later and we'll talk about that later because we just love each other, right? That's all we need. Yeah, in the end, it's all we need. But as we humans do, we come back from the honeymoon and the dishes are waiting, the laundry needs to be done, and we're going to find each other's pubic hairs in the shower cubicle. And we are going to annoy and challenge the out of each other. Which is really good news because it can lead to growth, but only if we're living together in a healthy structure that helps us to navigate these challenges and transcend them. So I'm exercising faith and patience, knowing that the right team will come together at the right time, and just going for what I feel called to create, in part by creating a place where we and the future core team can trial run together. Which brings me to the mother of all challenges, and it's the one that I believe is underpinning all of our worldly challenges. Not being better than I am. All of the struggles, fears, doubts, and fleeing mechanisms, and I'm going to be honest about one of them, when I want to run away from something I don't want to feel, I eat, and I eat, and I eat a lot. And I was dealing with this before I came here, and I took it with me in my backpack, and I'm dealing with it here. And I think all of this stuff comes down to parts of me not accepting other parts of me, or better said, that some parts of me are just not seeing the light that I essentially am and that I believe that we all in our core essentially are. So underneath all of the challenges in form, this to me is the mother of all challenges, not just for me, but for all of humanity. Because if we can't love ourselves into life, how can we love anything else into being? So the way I see it, our most fundamental job as humans is navigating everything that's trying to keep us away from the brilliance that we already are. Trusting that life is here to help us and to guide us and to relax into life instead of freezing into strife. So that's why I said right at the beginning that even the biggest of projects really only need one small step right at the beginning, and that's a full commitment to honesty. Or, as I heard Sadhguru once say, it's nice if you stop bullshitting everyone around you, but the most important thing is that you stop bullshitting yourself. You'll automatically be on the spiritual path. One of the steps we're taking in response to the challenges just mentioned is Basecamp 2.0, moving to a small community of people I met soon after arriving here.
Well, you are setting up your new forever home. That's not forever maybe, but it's still a home.
The people of Quinta do Amanhã, one of the funkiest, and with funky I mean good funky, not smelly funky, farms and community projects I've encountered so far, and to which we will be dedicating a full episode. In future updates, we'll also delve deeper into the medicinal properties of leading a truly together creatable life, plus the ingredients that I see as being essential to co-creating a healthy, connected and powerful way of living and working in any context, whether it's a company, institution, organization, project, family, or even love relationship. For today, this is it, our most honest update so far, and the first of many honest updates to come, because we want the sharing of this journey to be real, not pretty, not just pretty. Okay, pretty too, but just not the fake kind of pretty. In the next update, creating access to the land we've been on, building a demountable deck, and what the hell does that mean? And building a forest staircase using nothing but what we found on the land. If you enjoyed watching, hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, or better yet, come join us at the Miracle Project Insights platform. It's an open space for New Earth inspiration, tools and real-life updates, and you can follow along for free to access everything that we publish in at least one format, or support us as a paying member and get access to Q&As, webinars and much more, plus the joy of going to bed at night knowing that you're greatly fueling Miracle Project's mission and everything connected to it. To join, visit www.insights.miracleproject.earth. You'll find a link in this episode's description. Until next time.
So we're a couple of months ahead and I have already moved to the Quinta. I just couldn't get the video finished, and then magically life brought Jasmine, who has edited this video, and about whom more, together with all of the other people of the Quinta do Amanhã, in a future update.